I think it's called the Mandalay. It's a place in Las Colinas, Texas. It's like north of Dallas. It's really nice. It's like a cleaner, less populated Riverwalk, but it's really nice.
Nice.
When you walk through it, and honestly, it feels like California. Honestly, it feels like and looks like California. It's got a huge lake with some palm trees, and there's just a bunch of apartment complexes that look really nice. They're not like modern, but they're like um, what's the word? It's like it's not really brick. It's like a Italy, I guess, or Spain, like a European
Like
style.
stone.
It's yeah, kind of stone. It's not fully stone though. It's very European is how I can best describe it. I don't know.
It's half stoned.
And welcome back to another episode of the Ribs Podcast. Woo!
Oh, okay. I forgot you were actually going to record. Okay. I don't know when we started recording or what. Hello, everybody. My name is not Markiplier. Uh, it's Isaiah.
Yeah, and I am Rancho, and we're back for another episode. Because we decided not to quit after the first episode. So yay!
Yeah, Rancho was thinking about it. He was like, "Oh, this editing stuff, it sucks.
Dude,
I hate my life."
the editing took me. I'm not kidding. It took me. I had to do it in 2 days, like 4-hour sessions each. It was horrible.
Yeah, and on my end, I had to wait for him to do that, so it was worse.
You know what? It's a good trade off considering you still have to study right now. So
True.
I'm kind of learning my
Yeah.
own thing now, which is audio mixing and editing in general.
Hey, you pick up new tricks here and there, doing random stuff.
True, yeah. I like it though. It's pretty cool. Doing
I bet.
doing editing is actually one of the things I did want to always I thought about doing in college.
Oh,
Like
okay.
not really theater, but like filming, I guess. Like lighting or recording.
Okay.
I was
think
okay
you'd
with
be good,
yeah.
a good theater tech. That was my first job in Kyle. Worked at the Performing Arts Center, and I was I guess assistant technician was my official title. And yeah, I helped out with the kind of the audio and visual stuff. Shoot, we even helped make props and stuff. One time, I was able to go up on the catwalk and actually like spray these foam bubbles down for a performance, and the performance was actually from my high school band, so that was pretty cool.
Oh wow.
And I mean, it was borderline like I don't want to say toxic, but basically it was making everyone cough and stuff afterwards. So I was like, damn, I'm glad I'm not down there. But it caught a little bad,
Oh,
but it
okay.
looked cool.
Yeah, nice. That's still. Wait, how old were you when that happened? When you did that?
I was around 16, 17.
Oh, okay, high
I
school.
think
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
16.
I think my first time around like huge audio, like tech like that, was when I did marching band. I played for my first 2 years. I was in the front ensemble, which is like the keyboards, the cymbals, and
There's keyboards in band.
there's one keyboard player, but when I say keyboard, I mean like xylophone, marimbas, all of that stuff in the front.
Oh, okay.
And
Gotcha.
each marimba needed two microphones underneath so that because dude, a marimba by itself in front of a band full of horns and drummers, you can't hear shit. But there's some parts of the show, like a ballad or something, where marimbas are really nice to hear. So we had to, install microphones underneath each marimba and then do a sound test before every show. And yeah, that was my like first time going into the audio field like that, because I learned how to like look at like an actual audio mixer. Like, yeah, it was an experience. I didn't go too much into it because I was a player, whereas we had like actual not DJs, audio engineers monitoring us during the show. But yeah, that's. But yeah, speaking of audio and theater and stuff, that brings us to our topic of today's episode, which is movies.
Hey, that was a good segue. I'm over here Googling what a marimba looks like.
Yeah. I'm sure you've seen a marimba. It's just a big xylophone.
No, yeah, I looked at it now. I'm like, okay, now I know what it is. I thought Marimba Cosgrove was, the one from iCarly. I
She
was
actually has the
wrong.
same birthday as me. Did you know that?
Miranda Cosgrove?
Yeah, we have the same birthday.
Oh, which is May 14th?
Yes, good job.
Okay. Well, because remember, it's also one of my best friend's birthdays, so a
Oh,
little easier to remember. So now, Justin Rancho and Miranda Cosgrove, my three closest buds.
nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah. Today we're gonna
So
be talking about
movies.
some movies we like, genres, upcoming movies, and then I have some little mini games we can play that we're gonna play, or I'm gonna play for you, or you're gonna play for me. That I have mini games I have for you throughout the
Okay,
episode.
mitigate. See, I feel like I'm a guest on this show now because I'm like, okay, I didn't know any of this. Okay, not you told me we were talking about movies, but I didn't know anything about mini games or anything like that. Or am I
Uh,
just your freaking your guinea pig over here? Like, hey, let's see if this works.
it's a simple game that we'll get into. I will get into that later. It's super chill though. But just wanted to spice up some things. But we'll get to it once we actually delve into some stuff about movies. Do you have like a specific genre? Okay, can you give me like top three genres of movies that you like?
Comedy, action, and I want to say history. Honestly, I never thought about that till now, but I really like history movies.
Okay, I expected
Um,
I knew comedy and genre for sure because when you say comedy, like you don't just mean like or does that include like do you include like stand-up comedy as like movies or just like
no, those are definitely not movies. Trust, don't get me wrong. I love stand up. There's a lot of good comedians that I'd love to listen to, but no, those are definitely not movies.
okay, yeah.
No, I mean comedies like you go in there, you laugh. One of the most recent ones I saw with I forgot right now. They're redacted as well as redacted. We saw one of them days with I forgot the main. I don't want to say selling point, but there's a singer in there, SZA. She was one of the actresses.
Oh yeah,
Um,
crap. I don't know. You know what? I can check that up right now.
yeah, but no, that movie was hilarious. I actually had a lot of like I was laughing my ass off moments.
Yeah, I
It, wa-
did hear
it
about
was pretty good.
one of them days. That's what the
Yeah,
movie's
one of
called.
them days.
Okay, I heard that was a good movie from Redacted as well. I mean, you've already name dropped someone, so
I did.
yeah, it's
Ooh.
Redacted. I don't want to say his name again.
Not important. We'll edit and post
Yeah,
all that stuff.
yeah, I'll
But
edit and
yeah,
post. Don't worry.
but yeah, stuff like that. Like going all the way back to like movies like Friday. What
Yeah,
other old comedies are there?
I've been
Shoot,
told to watch that. I've been told to watch
no
that
one
movie a
has
lot.
no. You still haven't watched it?
No, I haven't. I have not. I've been told to watch it every month by friends. I should get on it, honestly.
Yeah, you need to. But yeah, and then one of the oldest movies I like is called Animal Crackers by the Marx Brothers, which I guess speaking of history, it's not a historical movie, but Karl Marx. Wait, nope, that's the communist guy. Hold on, give me a second.
Okay, I was about to
Groucho
say.
Marx. Groucho Marx. Great. We're already getting political. No, Groucho Marx. The classic fake glasses, big nose, and fake mustache. That's where that comes from. Groucho Marx's face, because he had those big glasses. He had like a big nose, and he would actually. Oh, I forgot how he made his fake big mustache. I think he just used like black paint and he would put it over himself. But no, they the Marx Brothers, kings of puns. And so once I discovered them, I was like, oh my gosh, I love these dudes because I like my puns.
Yes, you do.
So that's a little bit of my movie background, I suppose. I watch all the way from the classics to the modern stuff. I saw the Minecraft movie on Thursday, by the way.
Oh, you finally saw
Uh,
it?
yes. And
Thoughts?
may I just say, that was a movie,
Yeah.
and it was not a good one,
Yep.
but it was still fun. It was
Yes.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so for the past few days in my head, I've just had la 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 lava, chicken.
Oh, dude, that threw me. That threw me off
Yeah,
so much. I don't know why that threw me off. I knew as soon as okay, if it's Jack Black in a kids film, he has to sing. I don't know why I didn't put that together before that happened.
yeah.
I wasn't. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was funny. But I heard it. I was like, okay, all right. Now this is just Jack Black being Jack Black now.
Yeah, but I mean, you could tell he had a lot of fun on the set. So I was like, he's the main reason I'm here. He's having fun, and I'm watching him have fun. So it's fun.
I like Jack Black and Jason Momoa. I like that duo.
Yeah,
Unexpected, but
no,
very
it's
cool.
fun. Yeah,
I know
but
two things about that movie two fun facts about them, or not really fun facts, but I know that it wasn't originally supposed to be Jack Black. It was actually supposed to be Steve Carell originally.
okay. Back then I heard Steve Carell was gonna be in the movie. I thought he was gonna play the villagers. Like I legitimately thought that.
That's
I
kind
don't
of
know
that's
if,
fucked. But that's funny.
I feel like he would have made some good villagers. I mean, the villagers in the movie I found both kind of horrifying, but also kind of chill. So I was like, yeah, I'm about it. They're fun.
Yeah, I liked it too. The only one thing I was hoping for was a teaser for like Hero Brian or something. Hero Brian here. Yeah, whatever.
Okay, apparently, it wasn't supposed to mean anything, but in the scene where like the Enderman like does the mind control thing on the kid, I don't know what he was doing,
Yeah.
but all of the people who were talking to him that obviously weren't themselves, they had purple eyes except for Steve. Apparently, he had white eyes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh. Ooh. I mean, I'd probably have to see that back. But if that's the case,
yeah,
I mean,
I didn't notice it, but
that would make the fan
my friends
base
did.
speculate a lot.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
You know what really made the fan base speculate was a chicken jockey.
Yeah. I've seen those videos on Instagram of like theaters rioting, throwing popcorn
Yeah,
at
they're
every
insane.
meme. I wish my theater was like that. It wasn't though. I would have liked the film. I would have enjoyed the film way more if my theater was like that.
See, my theater, I feel like my theater was fun because I didn't want that to happen and it didn't happen. But when those lines were said, you could hear people were saying them at the exact same time, me included. My favorite one being Flint and Steel.
Yes.
But then, of course, you got the chicken jockey. But I completely missed my mark when it came to the Nether.
Yeah.
So I was sad.
uh,
And then, this is an ender pearl. This is a crafting table. And then he does that, like, head whip he does. This
yeah.
is
His Jack Black
diamond
stuff.
armor or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's like coming in hot.
Yeah.
But moving on from the Minecraft movie because we can't spend too much
Yeah,
time
let's get
on
off
it.
let's get off that topic.
Yeah, the Minecraft movie is its own genre.
Oh no, that's gonna be the name of this episode. Just la 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 lava.
No. But I'd say my top three genres. I mean, not in any order. I don't know how to order it, but comedy and action are definitely up there. Having a third one, I think maybe adventure. That kind of goes hand in hand with action, though. Sometimes, I think.
Yeah, but they could be. Well, that's why they call some things action adventure because it could be adventurous, but it doesn't have to be super action packed.
Yeah.
But you could go on like a quest or something. And because now that I'm thinking about it, history would have to be tied with like maybe like sci-fi and stuff because I love that stuff. I love Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I guess sci-fi fantasy. Okay, I guess I could go into a lot of genres I like because I like the big franchises. I love Marvel. I love Star Wars. I love like Indiana Jones, Harry Potter, all that stuff. I never got into Lord of the Rings or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So
I
I
couldn't.
mean,
I never got into um, Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. Really.
I really like Harry Potter, but I mean, I will say that I mean this is a good topic for me because I would consider myself a pretty big cinephile. I love going to the movie theaters. I don't like watching stuff at home for the first time. If
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the movie and I like it already, I will definitely go and watch it again multiple times. But my first time, I like to be in the theater.
Right. Yeah.
Which which kind of reminds me of the first time I saw the Black Widow movie, which I did enjoy. I thought it was underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I I was like, why the hell are there captions on my screen? But I think because they had the words they were saying at the bottom of the screen,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't until later I found out that it was because there was like some either deaf or just like audibly impaired people in my theater. But I was like, okay, this. Before I knew that, I was like, this kind of sucks. I don't want to see the words on my screen until later when I'm watching it again. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was fine. It was just it threw me off, is what it did.
Yeah. Captions. Sometimes they throw me off. I mean, I like to watch anime, so I'm used to captions at this point. But
Weeb.
sometimes I watch like I like to watch Bollywood films with my family because
Oh,
they
you
grew
don't
up watching that.
understand Hindu?
No, I don't, and it's not just Hindu. I mean, I understand Hindu, but they speak. My parents speak. They speak four languages each, not including English, or no, including English. Sorry. So sometimes they
Oh,
watch Tamil films, Malayalam, which is another language, and then yeah, and there's different like Bollywoods in India. There's like a Tamil one, a Hindu one. Some of them sometimes they mix, but yeah, I need the captions for that.
mm.
Um,
I
cause,
mean, yeah, that makes sense.
but I mean also sometimes even when the captions are there, I just don't watch it because of how ridiculous sometimes Bollywood films can be.
Yes, I have seen that, especially in memes. There, it can be. I mean, but it's not supposed to be taken super seriously, right?
No, well, in action Bollywood films, I think it's supposed to be seen as like it is supposed to be over the top, but it's supposed to be seen as
Hmm.
like if it's like a like for example like a guy like picking up a motorcycle and just fucking throwing it football field across. That's the whole point is to get it. I mean, they get the point across that that guy is strong. That's the whole point of over exaggerating in Bollywood films. I feel
Uh-huh.
like, and then stuff like just over exaggerating. They sometimes Indians just can be exaggerated and over dramatic, right? That's just the way they are. They're getting better
I
at it
know
now.
one that actually I know two that are.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I feel like you have some stuff back in your statement.
Yeah. And one of them will be on the podcast soon. I just want to let him know now before he gets all me about it, okay?
Okay, quit being butthurt. Redacted told me about it. Well, he told Rancho about it. Who told me about it?
Yeah.
Quit crying. You're probably not even gonna listen to this because you suck anyway.
Yeah. But
Uh,
but for the genre, I think the only thing I specify for my genres is I also really like. I guess I don't know if you can add this as a genre, but I like it within the comedy and action and adventure. I like really gritty movies and shows, kind of like how I like, or I guess gritty, gory, rated R. I guess like The Boys or Deadpool. Those are like
oh
really,
yeah.
that's like really up there with my field. Like that really
I mean,
gets me going.
probably one of my top movies. It gets you going.
Yeah,
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 great.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Great choice of words.
I
It
have
gets you
spoken.
going. All right. Yes, yes, you have, and I'm gonna have that in my head now. Um, what gets me going? No, one of my top movies is Bullet Train, and that's kind of got that aspect of it.
Yeah.
But that's got action, that's got comedy, and I just love how um, seeing it for the first time, seeing like all those separate like mini storylines all coming together and meaning something. I didn't expect that to happen, and then when that happened, I was like, oh,
Mm,
they were setting up this whole time. That's pretty cool. So
yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah. When it all comes together in the very like when there's like little context clues throughout the film and then it all comes together in the end, I really like that. That's also why I
Yes,
like Bullet Train. Yeah.
I love when that happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just it was funny, especially with Brad Pitt. He got a cameo from Channing Tatum,
Hmm.
um,
That whole
stuff like that.
that happened in Deadpool too as well. Like Brad Pitt got a cameo as Vanisher in Deadpool 2. That was funny.
Yeah, except the only time you see his face is when he's getting completely electrocuted and
Yeah.
dying.
Yeah, I think he did that for free actually, that cameo.
Maybe
Because
I don't know. I feel like with Ryan Reynolds, it's kind of like he asked you. He's like, "Yeah, fun."
yeah, I mean the director for that film did Bullet Train as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and that I mean I don't know his name, but he also did The Fall Guy recently.
Oh, that you did tell me, and I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
the Fall Guy.
yeah. And then there was another kid. Oh yeah, Ryan Reynolds and Channing Tatum were both in Bullet Train, right?
No, right? Oh yeah, Ryan
He was
Reynolds.
in, yeah, he was the like he's like the reason why Brad Pitt's like in the situation basically.
Exactly, because he was supposed to be the assassin, but he said like he had stomach problems, so he sent him instead.
Yeah.
Okay, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Um,
But
yeah,
I do wanna bring up another thing. You did talk about how you thought, or you really liked Black Widow, and I think most people see Black Widow as like a what do you call it? Like they kind of just brush over it, like it's just an extra film
yeah. I
they made,
mean,
right?
their main bicker at the time was like, "Oh, it's too late. She's already dead in like the MCU. They should have done it before Endgame." Blah blah stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I took it at face value. I love the comedy. Honestly, I liked almost everything about that movie except how they butchered my favorite mercenary in the MCU, Taskmaster. Um,
Yes. Yeah. That was a little bit
just
of
the
a
fact that I get that they're trying to make things more modern, but the fact that they made her powers completely technological instead of like skill based with a better backstory like the one that Taskmaster in the comics has. I was really bummed about that.
yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
Other than that, I enjoyed the movie.
I liked it
That
too. But what I wanted to talk about was if you have any underrated versus overrated films in mind. And I see that as I see Black Widow as an underrated film, honestly, which I think you do as well.
Yes, I definitely do. And honestly, up until Eternals, I did not dislike any of the Marvel movies. Like Captain Marvel, people didn't like. I enjoyed it. I
Hmm.
very much enjoyed it. I could see why they didn't like Brie Larson's depiction of her because she just she doesn't seem lifeless, but she just seems
Stoic.
too serious. And I don't know. She kind of has that look where like oh I'm better and stronger than you. Like being better and stronger is one thing, but kind of acting like an asshole about it, that's different.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then Eternals, the one thing I will say, the fight scene at the end, that was honestly one of the best fight scenes in Marvel.
The
The
Eternals. Yeah,
showing like especially like the speedster thing,
yeah. I
the
think
fast girl.
after watching the Eternals a second time, I liked it a little bit better. I think initially I came in, I watched the movie with the wrong mindset of okay, this is gonna be
Nice
like
choice.
I mean that was I think the second or third movie that came out after Endgame or fourth, I don't know. But I mean movies after Endgame had higher expectations. I feel like, and
Yeah,
my
it was hard because like Infinity War and Endgame, they really set the bar.
yeah, I know I was Black Widow, Shang-Chi I really liked.
I really like
People
Shang-Chi.
didn't
Yeah.
actually like some people didn't like Shang-Chi. I was like, dude, this is like it's just if you put superhero plus like Bruce Lee karate fight, like it's I really liked it because it was the
You want
first
to know
of
one of the reasons they probably didn't like it?
mm,
Aquafina.
yeah. I didn't mind her.
I don't
I didn't
I
mind
don't
her.
hate Aquafina, but I know a lot of people that do.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that yeah. Okay, I forgot that she was someone in that film. I can kind of see why. I do hear people saying that, like, okay, this is just different. I don't like it because how different it is from every other MCU film. That's why I like it, though. Like, there wasn't really any other MCU superhero that really had their own unique martial arts style, kind of like Shang-Chi did. And that's what I really liked about it.
Yeah, MCU. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they tried to do. Oh, but it wasn't part of the MCU technically. I was gonna say Iron Fist. I never watched the show, but I know he's got similar style. Also, I just remembered who I name dropped earlier. I was like, oh, okay. I feel like if because it is him, if you leave it in, he'll yay. Yeah, he was the first person who listened to the podcast, and he liked it. So I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, we'll keep it in.
Yeah. I almost just said his name.
He'll get a kick out of this.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
back to the movies.
Yeah.
More underrated. So I'm trying to think outside of Marvel.
You can think
Oh.
underrated too if you need to. I'm thinking about underrated now.
I thought that's what we were talking about. We saying overrated?
Oh, no, sorry, I meant overrated. My bad.
Gotcha. Well, because in terms of underrated, I feel like one film you and I enjoy that I should have a bit more like no, or people should know more what it is. Willy's Wonderland.
Oh man, hey man, it's a Nick Cage film. Nothing, you can't go wrong with that.
Such a great film. If you like Five Nights at Freddy's, I don't know if you like this, but
If you like
Nick
Five Nights at
Cage-
Freddy's and Nick Cage, you're gonna love this one.
true. It's like, but instead of you being trapped inside of the animatronics, it's the animatronics are trapped inside with Nick Cage, who does not utter a single word in the film, which it adds to the part of like, all right, who is this dude? What is he doing?
It's basically Five Nights at Freddy's, but but instead of the main character being like a security guard, he's an autistic mute guy who does whatever he wants, and he's Nick Cage.
Yeah, I feel like if you really lean into the fact that he probably is very autistic to a degree, you will understand. Okay, I don't want to say understand. I don't think you'll understand, but it'll enhance the movie experience.
Yeah, it's really funny. I mean, there's other people in the film that add some more plot to it, but it's really all about Nick Cage. I mean, that's the best I can describe. That's
Super underrated.
Yeah, that's the main
If
thing.
you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's on Hulu and probably a couple other things.
Yeah.
But
Okay, I'm thinking about an overrated film for me.
see, okay, I want to hear what opinion you have on this, because I think this is extremely overrated.
Okay.
Do you know, or okay, the film that came out like a couple years ago, I think Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah,
that film.
yeah, I've seen that.
I did not like that film.
I actually, this might not be good because I can't add anything else, but I'm actually on your side. I wasn't too big of a fan of that film either.
Okay, I know a lot. That was like, wasn't it Academy Award nominated or something like that?
Yeah, I think it won Best Film, and it won Best Film, Best Actor, and Best Supporting, or Best Actress, and Best Supporting Actress, and Best Supporting Actor. I think it won a lot of awards. And I didn't.
Okay.
My thing was my main thing was I was just really, really confused throughout the entire film. That was it.
See, I wasn't really confused. I had the mindset of like, okay, this is just kind of some sci-fi BS that we have to imagine works because they say it does.
Yeah.
But also like, to me, it just felt like a feature-length SNL skit.
Mm-hmm.
But not like the good SNL, like,
Ooh.
you know how they had an era of just like not as funny.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me. And then at the very end, where the mom and daughter are talking, and of course that's character development. They're trying to get through their problems, but then I don't know. It seemed like it tried to turn itself into like a lesson, and I was like,
Yeah.
this is cheesy. I don't like this.
Yeah, I get
But
that. I can still see why it's very very unique, which
yes, yes, it
is
is.
it's a good thing and a bad thing. It was, I mean, you can tell from results it was a good thing because it won so many
Hmm.
awards, and people liked it. And that's some people, that's some audiences, that's most audiences, I guess, because it won. But then I'm pretty sure there is a small audience like us that fall on that boat of, what did I just watch? This is kind of corny in a
Yeah,
way. Um,
yeah. I mean, with anything, you'll have people who like what you have and people who don't.
yeah.
So, I mean, we fall in the latter category.
Yes.
Not to say it's objectively a bad film. It's just I did not enjoy it
Yeah.
as much as I hoped I would.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I do have one film that we might have differing opinions. The
All right.
Batman with Robert Pattinson. Did you like that film?
What are I very much like that film? Yes.
Okay. I was not too big of a fan of that film, actually.
Why is that?
I that was the first superhero film I slept in, actually, in the theater.
See, that's the thing. A lot of people complain that it was too long and it was too much like detective work and not enough like Batman, which I get because people love seeing Batman in action. But this is the first time where you really get to see an in-depth analysis of his thought process and how he actually works to accredit him to being the world's greatest detective. And
Hmm.
I really appreciated that about the film.
Hmm.
Yeah, again, it was long. There was some, I don't want to say dry parts, but just very slow parts. But
Hmm.
I in the end overall, I love that movie.
Yeah. Here's my thing. So and also if you haven't seen it, I might say some spoilers without knowing. So beware. But
We just talked about the Minecraft movie that came out a week and a half ago, so
yeah, I
I
mean they weren't really spoilers. We just talked about the memes. But my
true.
thing for that movie was I liked the detective work. I was okay. I didn't say I hated the movie or I didn't say it was like super bad. It just wasn't my cup of tea.
Hmm.
So I know, and I've
Gotcha.
read some comics back then. There are different types of Batmans that have been depicted. There have been the detective year one Batmans, which is what this one was,
Hmm.
or year two, I guess. And then there's the broody big, um, the broody Batman, kind of like what Ben Affleck's was.
Martha.
Yeah, and then there's like a kind of like a ninja esque Batman, I guess. Not maybe not ninja, but I guess like I'd say ninja, kind of like the Dark Knight, or there's different. But my point is, there's different depictions of Batman. This one was
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
the main detective one, which I really liked.
Hmm.
I do think it should have been smaller, which uh, my thing was uh, how do I describe this? The main part that I really slept in was spoilers, obviously, when he goes to the hospital to meet Alfred. Because if I remember,
Mm.
I forgot how Alfred got into the hospital. He was
Oh,
a bomb or
the Riddler
something,
sent
bomb
him a
package.
package,
Yeah, a bomb
and
package.
it
Yeah,
meant for Bruce Wayne, but Alfred opened it.
yeah. There was I think, I guess for me, it was a little bit a lot of talking. Whereas and some parts did get me confused, but it did make sense towards the end. I also wasn't a fan of um, after like thinking about the film after I watched it. I wasn't too big of a fan of the Riddler. I did like what they were going for.
Mm.
They went for a kind of Zodiac killer esque thing going on
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
Riddler, which I thought was cool. Um, but I'm also used to like the more I think the best like live depiction of the Riddler so far. It might have been. I
Jim
think it might have
Carrey.
been Jim Carrey. His might have been like too over the top with the whole goofy part of it, but
Well, but he's also a classic Riddler. Riddler's supposed to be like a funny guy, like riddle me this, Batman,
yeah,
and blah blah
I
blah.
I
There's
actually really
yeah.
I like that Riddler as and I know it's not as like realistic, which is what this Batman was going for.
Hmm.
But watching it didn't really feel like a superhero film at the same time, which could be a good thing for some people. But for me, I wanted to watch a superhero film, so
Gotcha.
yeah. I do want
I
to
thought it was a
watch.
breath of fresh air.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, people. And yeah, I didn't say I hated it, and people that really liked it, I can see why they liked it, right? But
Hmm.
I I haven't seen the Penguin yet, which I do want to see, which I feel like kind of might be the
Mm,
same impression of like, oh, he's not comic book esque, he's more realistic. But it could also just be my mentality going into the theater again. But
yeah.
when I watch the Penguin, it'll probably be knowing me with the new mentality of okay, this is part of the Batman universe. Robert
Yeah.
Pattinson's Batman. This is definitely going to be a good show related to that. It's not going to be you know a classic Danny DeVito Penguin with like exploding penguin bombs or stuff, right? But
Yeah. And so yeah, you would have to separate yourself from that because I do very much like the classic stuff.
yeah.
But this new stuff I think in its own right is awesome. I watched The Penguin all the way through.
Hmm.
And yeah, so don't go in with like a superhero show mentality.
Yeah.
You have to go in with like, yeah, this will be yeah, a little gritty. So I think you'll enjoy that part. And very very strange. His I they do a very good job of making you be like, I don't know if I should be rooting for this guy or not. He is the protagonist, but he's not a good guy and he's not a good guy.
Hmm.
So it's really it really makes you fluctuate
Yeah.
uh between like, yeah, I think I get what this guy's saying to like, oh no,
Yeah.
this guy. But I won't say anything beyond that. I think you definitely need to give it a watch. It is a great show.
Hmm. Yeah. So I'm gonna definitely give that a watch. And um, before we move on to the next subtopic category, I do want to play this little mini game with you.
Okay.
Um, Have you ever seen these TikTok blind ranking games?
I have. I have, yes. I watch one dude on Instagram doing because I don't have TikTok.
Yeah.
Have you heard of like his name's like Dalton something like that? He
No, I
he talks
haven't.
with very heavy accent. He talks like this, and his main thing he says is "What the fuck?"
I think I might have seen a
Because
clip. Yeah, 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 on
yeah,
Instagram.
because his main thing that he does is ranks disgusting things, but
Hmm.
he has an extremely high gag reflex. So he like almost always starts gagging with the gross looking stuff.
Hmm. Yeah.
I'll send you a video of him or the next video he does.
Sweet. I'll check it out.
But
Um,
yes, I have seen that the
okay.
trend.
Good. So I have four different blind ranking categories, and
Okay.
obviously throughout this episode, we've been talking a lot about superheroes and MCU films. So the
Oh
first
yep.
category is going to be blind ranking MCU films.
Gotcha.
And so I have one, two, three, four, five, six MCU films that are going to be blind ranked by you.
Okay.
All right. So the first one is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Volume 2. That is my second favorite one. I'm gonna have to. I'll play it safe. I'll put it at 4 because I do
4.
like a lot of other
Hmm.
MCU movies.
Okay. So your second. Oh, and all of these are like I didn't choose all of these. These were all completely random from a blind ranking website that I'm actually doing. Um,
Gotcha. Okay.
so the second one will be Black Panther, the first one.
Black Panther. I did enjoy that movie,
Hmm.
but it wasn't like my favorite. It was a good movie, but I think I'll put that as number 5.
5. Okay, so you have 4 and 5 that you've put. You still have 1, 2, uh,
3
3 and
and
6.
6.
Okay. All right. So your next one is Avengers: Age of Ultron.
I'm gonna have to go number 1. I think that Avengers: Age of Ultron is honestly probably the best Avengers film in my opinion.
Hmm.
If you don't um, think about scale, because Infinity War Endgame. They're huge,
Mm-hmm.
and they're both phenomenal movies. But
Mm-hmm.
story wise, and especially, I love Ultron as a villain. That dude, I
Yes.
love him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great villain. So I'm putting that as my number one.
Okay. Your next one is Thor Ragnarok.
I'll put that as my number three.
Number
That
three.
film was hilarious.
Yes.
Probably my favorite Thor film,
Mm-hmm.
even though it had a different tone than the prior two.
Yes.
And they overdid the tone on the fourth one.
Yeah.
But yes, Ragnarok, great movie.
Yes. I like that too. That's probably a top three MCU film for me, honestly.
Okay.
But the last two, we have Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Far From Home, I'm putting that as number two. Far From Home was such a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Hit me in the nostalgia real hard. They knew what they were doing. They took my money 3 or 4 times because I went to go see it in theaters.
Far From Home?
Yeah.
You're not talking about No Way Home,
Oh,
right?
No Way Home. Oh,
I was about to
oh.
say that the nostalgia. I'm thinking about No Way Home. If you're saying nostalgia,
Okay, yeah.
this is the one
Okay,
that came
I
after
get
Endgame.
I get them mixed up a lot. I do really like Far From Home, very much, but I can't say. I feel like whatever's next, I hope I don't regret it, will be my number two. So I'll put Far From Home. It's number six.
Okay, so
Although realistically, I would put that over Black Panther.
okay, so and once we're done with this, we can do like an actual like ranking, what you'd actually do.
Hmm.
But let's before I tell you the last one, can you do a quick review for me what you've ranked everything? So you have
One, I just don't have two.
okay, you just don't have two. Okay, so you might be okay with this. Your last one is Shang-Chi.
What did I put? Oh, I put Ragnarok as my number three. I'd probably swap Ragnarok and Shang-Chi, but Shang-Chi was a phenomenal movie.
Mm-hmm.
Great soundtrack too.
Yes.
I loved a lot of the songs.
Yeah.
So good movie. I'm not mad that that's number two.
Okay, great. That's good. And if you remember your whole list, if not, it's okay. Are you okay with the list you made so far? If it's not, I mean, obviously it won't be perfect, but you
Oh, I
said
didn't
you can
know you
only
could
switch.
rearrange them.
Hmm?
Because I put Age of Ultron first. Shang-Chi and Ragnarok were my two and three. I would swap them.
Mm-hmm.
I'd keep Guardians of the Galaxy 3 where it is at number four. And then, but even then, Shang-Chi and Guardians. I'll leave that. And then I would put Black Panther as six and bring number five up, being what was the other one you said? Far From Home.
Okay, yeah. That's good for me as well. I would have probably gone with the same thing as well, I think.
Okay.
But your next category is Hollywood actors. And
Okay.
you can rank them based on performance or likability or however you want.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'll just take it at, well, not face value, my value.
Hmm.
So hit me.
Okay. And if you don't know it, I can probably help you out with it, but I think it should be fine. All right.
I'll get my phone open just in case. I'm like, who?
Okay, so your first one is Jason Statham.
Jason Statham. How many do I have this time?
This
Still
one,
six?
this one you have five.
Five? Okay. I'm gonna put him as number two. I love Jason Statham. He does not have range, but what he does, I love.
Okay, Jason Statham as two.
Yeah. The man that says the title of the movie, every movie.
Yeah, he has a
Big
new movie
kid.
coming out called The Working Man. I know what he's gonna
The
say in
man.
that one.
I'm a working man.
Okay, your next one is Glenn Powell.
I know this name. I'm looking him up right now.
I can help you. Did you watch Top Gun Maverick?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, I didn't watch Maverick, but this dude came out in Twisters. I know that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay,
put
that's
him
what I should have
as
said. Yeah.
gonna put him as number 5. I don't know much about him. He seemed pretty good with what he did, but
Yeah.
I'm like, he's okay.
Okay. Your next one is Joaquin Phoenix.
Ooh, Joaquin Phoenix. He's pretty good. Um, although I'm gonna be conservative, I'm gonna put him as number 4. Uh, I still have mixed feelings about the Joker movie, but what else did he do? Didn't he? He wasn't in Gladiator, was he?
He
The
was. He
first
was in
one?
Gladiator, the first one.
Okay, that was him. Okay, he did really well there. I enjoyed his performance.
Yeah. Your next one is Leonardo DiCaprio. That one's just basic.
I'll put him as number 3. He's a good one. He's an old one. I still never finished the movie What's Eating Gilbert Grape, where he plays a I don't think it's Down syndrome. He has some type of mental disorder. It was when he was really young. He was with Johnny Depp. My mom said it's a really good movie.
I haven't seen that film. I actually haven't seen a lot of DiCaprio films. Now that I think about it.
One of our boys at the house had Wolf of Wall Street on the other day.
Yeah,
And,
that is one that
that
I
was an
always
entertaining
remember.
movie.
I really liked that movie. I thought he was pretty good in that movie too.
Yeah, and then there's like The Great Gatsby, and I think that's the extent of my DiCaprio knowledge.
Yeah.
Other than the one he got the Grammy for.
The Grammy.
The Oscar?
The Oscar.
Whatever.
Yeah. But your last one is Michael B. Jordan. But you don't really have a choice because one's.
Yeah, number 1. I guess. I mean, my number 1 would have to be actually like Jason Statham from this list.
Okay,
But Michael B. Jordan's not mad. I need to see the other 2 Creed movies.
Yeah.
To see how he did.
So
He did a good villain in
your
Black Panther.
ranking is Michael B. Jordan, Jason Statham, Leonardo DiCaprio, Joaquin Phoenix, and Glenn Powell. And
Yeah, that's not a bad list.
I would. So you would only switch Michael B. Jordan and Jason Statham? Would you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I would. This is actually really hard. Yeah, I think I would put Jason Statham as 1. I would put. You know what? DiCaprio. I'm starting to remember DiCaprio films now. I would put him as 2.
Okay.
Then I'd put Michael B. Jordan, Joaquin Phoenix, then Glenn Powell. Yeah. Glenn Powell isn't a bad actor, but he hasn't been in too many. I haven't really seen too many predominant roles with him. He's really been in big films, you know. Like he's been in Top Gun, which is a big film, but that's not because of him.
Yeah.
He's in Twisters was a good like classic film he's in. I did see the romance movie with Sydney Sweeney and him. I forgot what it's called. Anything But You. And it was a funny film. I'm not really a romance guy though, so.
Yeah, me neither.
But
you know what Leo film I just remembered? Django Unchained. That was a great movie. He did good in his role.
I completely blocked that. I blocked. You know what? That actually shows how good of an actor he was. I just didn't even think of him as DiCaprio. I just thought of him as just like the most racist guy ever.
He's got range. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you what.
You will?
Okay, we have 2 more categories. But your next one is simple again, or not simple, but it's the same thing, but actresses.
Oh, okay.
So,
is it bad that I didn't notice there was a lack of females in the last one?
I mean, I did say actors, so, but I mean, anyway.
Moving on.
Moving on. Okay, your first one. Oh.
What do you mean? Oh.
This first one's funny for me, only because I've seen a lot of memes. Maybe you have too. Your first one is Gal Gadot.
You know, I've heard she's slightly controversial. I don't think she did. Okay, to be fair, I have 2 movies I have in mind with her. Well, technically 3. Wonder Woman, I think she did a great job in. The second one, I think it was a bad film, but I don't think that was her fault.
Hmm.
And then the other one is the very recent Snow White movie. So
Oh, you watched that?
no, but I know she's in it. And I heard she was really bad. I watched the pitch meeting for it with Ryan George.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I got the information I needed, and so I'd put her at 5.
Okay.
Honestly,
All right.
like no hate to go. Is it Dot or Doe?
I think it's. I don't know. It might be. I think you do pronounce the T. Gal Gadot.
Gadot. I was just gonna say okay. No hate to the gal, but you're going at the bottom of the list.
With the recent film, she probably deserves it. Honestly, I heard
Red
she.
Notice was fun though.
Red Notice, yeah, that was fun. I like that film. But your next one is Kate Blanchett.
I know this one. I'm gonna need.
She is
see.
Hela
Give me a second.
from Thor Ragnarok.
Ooh, oh, she does other things too.
Yeah.
Wait, she wasn't the one that played the octopus from The Boys, was she?
No, that's
No, that was
Tilda
someone else.
Swinton.
Tilda Swinton. Okay. Oh, she did Borderlands recently. That wasn't a good one. But other than that, I don't know much about her. But I think she's a pretty good actress. I think I'll put her as 3.
All right, that's good.
And
Your
she
next
killed it with
one.
Hela.
Your next one. It's another Kate. You have Kate Winslet.
Son of a.
She was Rose. Is that her name? Rose from Titanic.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a little more than that.
Did you watch the Divergent series?
Oh. 4.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Nothing to really discuss there, I guess.
No, not really. I loved the books. Wasn't a fan of the movies.
Okay. Yeah. If you watched, I guess if you watch, I mean, there's no point. You already put it at 4. You can't change it now.
Yeah.
I'll tell you later. But oh man, wow, this next one is a curveball. Okay, Marilyn Monroe. Wow.
I don't know much about her actual acting, so I guess put her at 2 because that's the lowest that I have available. No offense to Marilyn Monroe, I just don't know.
Yeah, fair
Everything.
enough. I actually, you know what? This might sound bad. I actually didn't know she was an actress. I thought she was just a model.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
Yeah,
What does she know for?
That was a curveball. Damn, I didn't think it'd be that far back.
Yeah, I don't recognize any of these movies that she's in.
All right, and your last one, it's going to 1 anyway. Jennifer
Yep.
Lawrence.
Let's go!
Okay.
I love Jennifer. I was gonna say was my favorite actress for a long time, but I don't remember who I thought replaced her, so she's back at number 1 anyway. So, J Law, if you're listening, and we know you are, come on. I don't know if you're single, but holla at your boy.
Holler at Pepperoni.
Let's move on. All right, I started embarrassing myself.
But
What's the last list?
Okay, well, just to recap, you have Jennifer Lawrence is number 1, Marilyn Monroe is number 2, Kate Blanchett is number 3, Kate Winslet is number 4, and Gal Gadot as number 5.
Honestly, not a bad list for what I had to work with.
Yeah, I think the only thing I changed is I really like Kate Blanchett. I think I'd put her at number 1, honestly.
I guess I'd put her as number 2. But I guess also Marilyn Monroe was a historical figure too now, so I'm like, I'll leave her up there.
Yeah. All right, your last list. This is different. This is Christopher Nolan films.
All right, I know he's a good filmmaker. He did Oppenheimer, right?
Yes, and that's actually your first
As well
one.
as, okay. Because I think the Batman movies might be in here too. I'm gonna put Oppenheimer as number 3.
Number 3. Okay. All right. Your next one is The Dark Knight.
1.
Okay.
Numero uno. That is a phenomenal film.
Yes, it is.
Rest in peace,
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah. Love you to death.
Did such a great job with the Joker.
Yes.
No one can top that performance.
Mm-hmm.
There's other depictions of Joker. Give shout out to Mark Hamill. He does a great Joker
voice. Yeah.
but the type that he needs.
Mm-hmm.
But Heath Ledger is just a whole different category.
Yeah. You know what? The Dark Knight, when I watched it the first time, I thought it was cool but didn't understand it, but I was a kid. But watching it now, it lives up to its name still.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. It's a great movie.
It's really good.
So rewatchable too.
Yeah. The next one is Interstellar.
Ooh, I'll put that as number 2. I really liked Interstellar.
I really liked it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked his depiction of the black hole, all of that. That's really interesting to me. I like space, so.
Yeah. Matthew McConaughey's acting is
Phenomenal.
also really good.
Your next one is Dunkirk.
Dunkirk.
Have you seen this film?
I have not, but it's one that I've wanted to watch. I just haven't gotten around to it. I'll put that as number 4. Again, it's another like historical movie, right?
Yes.
Or it's a historical movie. Yeah, like I said, I do enjoy history. I would like to see that eventually.
Yeah. I don't think I saw all of it, but I watched the beginning and maybe towards the middle. It's really interesting. It really shows how it's really good at showing the perspective of. I think this was World War II. I could be wrong. I don't want to sound like an idiot though. It was one of the wars, but it shows like the point of view of it's a really good depiction of a point of view of an army guy. Basically, it's really good.
Okay.
And then your last one. Ooh,
what am I putting at number 5?
I don't think you're gonna like it. The Dark Knight Rises.
What did I put as number 4 again? Dunkirk? Yeah.
Dunkirk.
I guess I would switch. I'd put Dark Knight Rises like 3 or 4. I mean, I really liked Tom Hardy's Bane. He did good.
Mm-hmm.
He did good. And yeah, that was just a good movie overall. So I'd put it a little higher, but oh well.
Yeah. So you have Dark Knight is 1, Interstellar is 2, Oppenheimer is 3, Dunkirk is 4, and then The Dark Knight Rises is 5. But you would change that, obviously.
Yeah.
Let me think. Dark Knight I would put as number 1. I would put Interstellar. No, Interstellar. You know, it's really hard. It's actually for me. I would actually interchange Dark Knight and Interstellar as number 1 because sometimes.
Really.
Yeah, it's 2 very different films, but I'm just a big nerd for space, and so sometimes watching Interstellar is kind of like watching a documentary. Sometimes, a space documentary.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I'll put Interstellar as 2 just because Dark Knight is just a superhero film, I guess, and I really liked it. I think I would put Oppenheimer 3. I put Dark Knight Rises 4 and Dunkirk 5. I was gonna say Dunkirk 4, but I can't say that if I haven't finished the film. So.
Gotcha.
But I need to finish Dunkirk and then maybe evaluate it because I think it started off really interesting. It's a whole different genre than Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. So.
I mean, this whole list, not whole list, but a couple of them are like comparing apples and oranges. Really hard.
Yeah. Now.
Their own thing.
Yeah. Now let me throw you one more thing. If you had to take out one film, and we had to throw in Inception, where would you put that?
Ooh. I think just for not having seen it, I'd take out Dunkirk,
Mm-hmm.
put Inception in, and I would just leave it where it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It was a really good film, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
oh yeah, and that's all I got on that.
Yeah.
It was a good film.
I actually haven't even seen Inception.
Really?
Sadly, no, I haven't. I really want to.
Okay.
Just that sound effect. I need to hear it.
No, definitely give it a watch. It's one of those where you kind of got to get it off your, or no, check it off your movie bucket list.
Yeah,
You know.
that's a bucket list movie I gotta watch. But
Hmm.
but yeah, that's the end of that game. But adding in little
Sweet.
mini games like that is kind of what I want to start doing for this podcast, which I think is pretty cool because it adds more discussion and analysis.
That is true. Yeah, it does.
Um,
Would what would you say is your number one film?
my number one film.
Yeah, I know it's really hard. It used to be hard for me too, but I've settled into what I think mine is. But I want to hear yours first, if you have one, or a few that you think are again interchangeable.
Okay. I've never thought of. Okay. I have thought. I can't say I haven't thought of a number one film, but there's no way I can pick one film. You know what? I'll say this. Um, my nickname Rancho came from a Bollywood film that I really like. It's called Three Idiots, and it actually has to do with. You know what? It's really reminiscent to my college life with y'all. It has to do with
Oh, awesome!
engineers in college, and the main
Oh,
character's
okay.
name is Rancho, and in India back then, it's slowly changing now. It's modernizing now, which is a good thing. But in
Hmm.
India, um, there was the standard of if you were born a boy and you went to college, you had to study engineering, and if you were born a girl, you had to study nursing, be a doctor, or you were just a housewife and you always had to provide for your husband doing all the work, right? Um,
Oh yeah.
and so when you studied in an Indian college, what you mainly the way that you had to study in college was just memorizing it from the textbook, which is not really a good way of really learning what you're doing, right? And then it goes to like other
Hmm.
problems of like, there's one guy that has financial struggles, there's one guy that has studying issues, not being able to lift his weight or provide for his family. And it goes very morbid sometimes, and then there's there's a little bit of romance in it. Obviously, it's a Bollywood film, but it's really good romance.
Hmm.
Um, but
Oh, okay.
but in the end, Rancho is the valedictorian, which the principal doesn't like, but he has to accept the fact that his teaching methods are very outdated and just wrong, right?
Hmm.
And then there's more to the film that I won't really get into, but that kind of when I watched that when I was a kid and I rewatched it before I head to college, which really changed my way of how I started learning and studying with my friends. Well, for one, I didn't really study with friends in high school. Kind of just did my own thing,
Okay.
but studying as a group, which thankfully that's how I even made like my friend group, right? Was the best way for me
Hmm.
to learn. So that film really impacted me a lot, I'd say. And I did take them. I did take his name. So I got to give him some credit. Big up Three Idiots.
Gotcha.
Big up Amir Khan. I know you're watching and listening. You were one of my favorite Bollywood actors. Your last film wasn't the best, though. I will say. I'm sorry, but yeah. Thank you.
Oh, damn. All right, well, that's pretty cool. I know you told me about the your nickname and the title of the film you were talking about, but never this in depth. So that's cool. I get a little more insight into the Rancho lore.
Yeah. It's something
It,
I
it
do
took a
want y'all to
podcast to get it
watch.
out of you, but would it be on Netflix or something?
I can check for you. I think it used to be on Netflix. I don't know if it still is. It is
Okay.
on. Right now, it just says it's on YouTube TV. Oh wait, you can watch it on Prime Video and Apple TV. Yeah.
Okay, I'll check it out on Prime because I don't have anything Apple. But my number one film, I thought a lot about this over the years, and I've come to the conclusion that for me, it is Pirates of the Caribbean 2, Dead Man's Chest. It
I've never
is.
heard you talk about that film. That's interesting.
It really?
I don't think so. No, I don't think. I don't think I've
I
ever heard you talk about it. No, I don't. What? I don't think I've ever heard you say that. No,
really.
I don't think so. I could be tripping. I don't
I
think so.
okay. There's a few people that I've talked to about this subject, but I guess you haven't been one of them. No, I just think it is an awesome film. I love the score. I love the characters. I mean, they're funny. The movie's action packed. The villain is freaking awesome. I mean, Davy Jones, one of my favorite villains of all time, up there with Ultron. And also like I mean, I like all the overseas aspect. You get like the Kraken comes in and obliterates them. But the best thing about that film is, okay, I'm not going to talk about the fourth and fifth with Parts of the Caribbean movies, but if we're looking at it as a trilogy, how it initially was, it was smack dab in the middle, but it could be its own film, just straight up, because it had all the elements. Like, it started off with like a rainy wedding, blah blah blah. And you had the two of the main characters from the previous film come in, and they're like, "Yeah, you ruined our day, blah blah blah." And then they introduce like, "Oh, we also need to find Jack Sparrow."
Right.
And it's this dude who, of course, again, you watch the previous one, you know a lot about,
Right.
but I don't know, there's just so much about the movie where the other two movies, I mean, of course, give you a bunch of insight, enhance this one, but even without it, it could be its own. I mean, it is its own plot, but it could be its own thing entirely. And that is one thing I love about it. This was mainly explained to me by a girl on Instagram a few years ago. When she pointed out all these things, I was like, oh my gosh. One, I'm in love. Can I talk to you? Two, I was like, no, I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I always have, but hearing that, I'm like, yeah, it is truly a good film.
Yeah. Hey, she's listening, by the way.
Random girl on Instagram who had a hyperfixation on this as, I think, a joke for that video. If you're listening, and I hope you are, please, please.
That's interesting, though.
Anyway.
I didn't think about. I think I have to rewatch the film. I haven't seen it in a while. I liked it.
Yeah, I
think
love
the main thing I could think about. Yeah, the main thing I could think about for that film was that the CGI was amazing for when it was made.
I don't know how Disney fell off so hard.
I don't know either. I don't do that. It's because have you seen did you? I don't know if you've seen, like, if you're interested in seeing like behind the scenes. Did you see like what they had to work from? What they had to work from behind the scenes. It's literally just Bill Nye's the actor that does Davy Jones. He literally just has. He just does. It's just all you can. All the only makeup he wears, besides wearing like a CGI like suit, whatever that is the eye makeup and the mouth, so that they can track the eye movement in the mouth. But everything else is just him, and then they have to add all of that CGI in post. But it doesn't. It just doesn't look like that. It just looks. It looks real. Like way too real. Like it was made now.
Freaking beautiful.
Yeah. When was that film made? I'm trying to. It was a long time ago.
It was early 2000s, or maybe mid 2000s.
2006.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. And Keira, you know what else? Keira Knightley for the first one. Do you know how old she was?
How old?
I'm pretty sure she was 17.
Really?
Yeah.
She looked older than that. But okay, I guess. Yeah, and that's another thing I was gonna say. The cast.
Oh yeah.
Phenomenal.
It was
Johnny
a great
Depp,
cast.
Keira Knightley, Orlando Bloom, Bill Nighy.
Yeah.
And then you get at the very end,
Barbosa.
what's his name that plays Barbosa? Yeah,
Barbosa. Yeah, I
Jeffrey Rush.
yes. That was a very good cast. You know what? I in the future films they weren't as good. I don't think, which I think a lot of
Hmm.
people can agree with. But I still like the casting for the future films.
Yeah,
The last film with Javier Bardem as um, I don't know what his character's name was. I'm tweaking, but I liked his
he
villain a
was
lot.
a Spanish captain. Yeah, I know he did good with his villain. It just overall wasn't a great movie in my opinion.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
it it had a lot of potential,
mhm.
but it didn't live up to it, unfortunately. The fourth one honestly wasn't that bad. It's just the first three were phenomenal. I love them so
Yeah.
much. It's my favorite trilogy, and I think if it stayed there, it would probably be objectively my favorite franchise with just all the movies being bangers.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I
So
agree with that.
that's
Oh,
my 2 cents on Pirates of the Caribbean.
yeah, that's good. And then I did Google. It says, yeah, Keira Knightley was 17 when she appeared in the first Pirates of the Caribbean film alongside Johnny Depp, who was 39, and Orlando Bloom, who was 26. Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, that means Orlando Bloom was super young for Lord of the Rings then. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean he looks like it too.
yeah. Keira
But
Knight,
yeah,
she does not look like she's 17 in that.
no, and to me it's also like how she sounds. She sounds a lot.
Like mature, like much more mature and proper.
Yeah, but anyway, we should stop saying how mature the 17-year-old sounds.
Oh yeah. Moving
Moving
on.
on.
So the anyway
Great movies. Great movies.
the next thing I wanted to talk about was um the most memorable movie moments you've ever had experienced. So obviously for mine, one that stands out for me was Avengers Endgame. That was a big
Yes.
memorable moment for me, especially in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was everyone in that theater had that moment of when there were actually like a lot of moments in Endgame, especially in the final battle where Cap picks up the hammer.
See,
Um,
that's my most memorable moment from
yeah,
that movie.
and then there's everyone are returning from the the sparkly portal, Doctor Strange portals, and then of course I am Iron Man at the very end. That was great.
Yep. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Um,
But are there any like or other outstanding moments that you've had? Maybe that I haven't experienced. I don't know because I think you've seen a
see,
lot more films than I have in general. So
I'm going off of I think I have too. Uh, the well, I'm going off of the first thing you said, memorable, not what right now you said outstanding.
yeah.
Um, it's so weird. I don't know if I've explained this to you. I've said this to some other people, but one moment that is very memorable to me now, but at the moment it just really hit me for some reason was in Into the Spider-Verse
Hmm.
where they just tied up Miles to a chair so he doesn't go and try to sacrifice himself
Hmm.
in the end of the movie, and they all left. And his dad is on the other side of the like he comes up and he knocks and he thinks Miles is ignoring him.
Hmm.
And for some reason that felt really emotional to me. It was
Hmm.
like because he was coming up to him and his son were kind of in a rocky place at this time, and then um, the dad just found out that his brother was shot and killed, a dude who he had a lot of problems with in the recent past, but
Yeah.
in the end he loved he and from the dad's perspective, not only was he having a hard time communicating with his son, he had to have that knowledge of his brother's death super fresh in his mind while also trying to like reach out to his son. It's like that that would have to hurt.
Yeah.
And to me, of course, it was secondhand,
Hmm.
and they did a really good job conveying that. But I'm like, man,
Yeah.
that
Hmm.
that scene hit me. That just and Miles, clearly wanting to talk to his dad, but him being literally all tied up. And then, the dad feeling all this. On top of that, he thinks his son is ignoring him because he's so mad despite what he's saying. And it's really heartfelt.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing. He gets no response. And that lack of communication, I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
This is great storytelling.
Yeah, I think something I did notice in the past 5 years is when I'm watching new films and rewatching old films, I'm much more attached to the emotion than I used to be, and that could be
Yeah, me
because
too.
I'm maturing now and I understand what people are going through. But that has had a really big, especially in a lot of shows that I watch. But
Okay, you seem to have a much more mature perspective than me. See, me every time I think I'm about to shed a tear, or I said that weird, shed a tear. I tried to man. I'm like, I try to man up. I'm like, oh, they're putting fluoride in the water. What am I doing? and yeah, and the only film I think I shed a tear for.
wait, let me guess.
In my memory,
Was it Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
yes,
Yeah.
at the very end. But it took three watches of that movie to do it. I mean, the end was emotional to me every time, but the third time,
Yeah.
the dam just broke loose.
Yeah. I think, wasn't I there with you the third time you watched it?
Maybe. I know the first time I was with my family.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was because you and were shedding tears, or were about to. I know was.
Me- me
Oh
and
shit!
who?
I just name dropped. Oh fuck.
Well, everybody, our first guest.
No. That'll
now
be
know
that'll
who's
be
gonna
bleep.
be?
That'll be bleep. Don't worry.
Okay, fine. I was gonna try to roll with it, but all right.
Some people are not going to be happy that I said that. But yeah, that's when we got so in depth and with the conversation that I just completely forgot about that.
Who? You and who?
Whatever. Anyway.
What's our time at? I just realized.
We're almost a minute. Sorry, not a minute. An hour and 15.
Okay.
It's pretty long. We're almost done though. I'm gonna wrap things up with one more topic, and yeah.
All right.
But I don't. Yeah, for emotional. I haven't really like. I don't really like. I mean, I sympathize with more emotion now in films, but I don't really cry a lot. But that's just not because I'm like trying not to cry. That's just how I am. The only times I have cried weren't sad moments. They were just like nostalgic, cool, awesome moments, like Endgame, and the biggest one was No Way Home, purely because of nostalgia with Tobey Maguire, because that was the first film I ever watched ever. And speaking of memorable moments, I remember the first film. The only reason I remember the first film I ever watched, which was Spider-Man, the only reason I remember it is because that was also the film that I walked out on with my dad, because it was Spider-Man 3, and when Venom appeared, I got too scared, and when we left the theater.
Yeah. You did tell me that. Oh, that's funny.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that wasn't like an outstanding moment, obviously. I mean, why would Venom appearing and me crying be outstanding? That's just memory.
True. Yeah, I mean, that's what we went for. Memorable.
Yeah. Oh, I think I did have one more moment. You know what? When I watched Oppenheimer, the very end of Oppenheimer, I thought was very interesting to me. Do you remember the end of Oppenheimer?
Where he was like contemplating, like, how if we thought that a chemical or a chain reaction could like destroy the world.
Yeah. And
He's
it
like,
can.
I think it did.
It did. That actually, you know what? When he said that, and then the soundtrack came on, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah,
I don't know
it's
why.
scary to think about too.
Yeah, that was memorable. My theater wasn't like roaring like whoa, he just destroyed the world. No, it wasn't like that. It was just like a whoa kind of a moment. Like damn, that's crazy. Um,
Yeah.
and the theater I went to was really packed. And there were a lot of interesting people in my theater. Actually, there was a family in front of me that had a child. They got two seats just to like let the child sleep during the movie. Like they got a pillow and blanket just for the child to sleep for the movie. And I'm like, why did you even bring the kid in the first place?
I don't know, but I mean, I guess if you're gonna do something like that, I guess that is the best thing to do. So, I mean, honestly, not bad on the parenting side, if I'm being honest. Other than the fact that they could have used that money like babysitters, but
Yeah.
you know,
Um,
eh,
but
hopefully he didn't just like wake up during the Florence Pugh moments where she had her boobs out.
oh, dude, I think he
Uh,
saw that actually. I'm trying to remember. That was in the beginning of the film, or close to the beginning.
well, there was two times, one in the interrogation room and one, in the actual like bedroom.
Yeah. Uh, but the last thing I wanted to talk about was any uh, upcoming anticipated films that you have, and any predictions. Um,
I don't
so
like to go into the prediction side, but I do look forward to seeing films. So like,
mhm.
I'm looking forward to the Thunderbolts because I think it's going to be funny.
Yeah, that comes out in 3 weeks from now, I think. That's gonna be interesting.
Yes, yes, it does.
I
So
do
I'm
wanna
I'm very
see
much
that.
looking forward to that.
I do want to see that.
Um, I feel like I know what film you're kind of reaching for though.
Uh, I mean, there could be a lot now. My moods changed with a lot of films recently, but I really, really, I'm trying to really get excited for Superman. Um,
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, isn't there like three coming out in a short span of time? It's like Superman, Jurassic World. What's the
and
third one?
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. I do not like their costumes
I'm
at
okay with
all.
it, um, but there's only been a teaser, and I'm not like excited for it. I don't have really high
Yeah,
hopes right now.
I'm not excited either at the moment. Honestly, really for me, yeah, it's just the costumes at the moment. I like how they got like the old school setting and
Hmm.
stuff, but the costumes are really killing it for me. It just looks like they're in turtlenecks.
Yeah. But what film did you think I was going to talk about?
FNAF 2.
Oh, I was gonna get to that later. Hold on. Let's pause the breaks right there. Let's pause it right there.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I really Superman's my favorite superhero. Just because of who he is. Just I like. I mean, he's literally just like a god. That's why I like him. And then there's so many like other depictions of him, not even as Superman. Like you have other characters like Omni-Man and Homelander. They're just two really good characters that I really like, but they all have like the same super ability. Um, but
True.
uh, recently they came out with like a little clip of Superman and Crypto. When
Oh
I saw
yeah.
a lot of mixed opinions about it, but I was okay with it. Um, but I can see why people didn't like it though. Like,
Yeah, I don't think I was a huge fan.
yeah, I think he's trying to go for a more, um, what's the word? It's definitely like very on the other side of the scale compared to Man of Steel, Henry Cavill Superman. That's for sure.
Yeah, which I really like Henry Cavill Superman.
I do like it a lot. I do like that DC universe, and then the DC animated universe as well. That's all super dark, which I really like. But
Hmm.
I do want a chance to see the light, the more family wholesome or family friendly, um, superhero kid watching kind of aspect of it. Um,
Yeah.
it's weird to say just because I know Peacemaker's in that universe too, and Peacemaker is definitely not family friendly. But they're combining it, so
Yeah.
great show.
True.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, it was. Great intro.
Yes. But yeah, that season 2 comes out in August. I'm pretty sure, so that'll be cool.
Okay.
Um,
Oh,
but yeah, Fantastic Four, nothing too big. I think I just need to see more to get a really strong opinion on it. Not really excited
Yeah.
about it at the moment. Jurassic
Yeah.
Park, I saw that trailer and I was like, well, actually, I didn't even really have to see the trailer before I had this opinion. I just like knew when I heard there was a new one out. Uh, I was just like, why? I think they're milking this franchise too much. I think they need to take a break and it's. I have a really strong opinion about you know sequels recently. I don't think Hollywood's getting any more. I think they've lost their creativity. Honestly, there's just too many sequels happening right now. I just need something new
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah. It's hard to do that apparently because then you get stuff like oh, what's that movie that came out recently with Adam Driver? Um,
Megalopolis.
yeah.
Yeah, Megaflopolis is what they call it.
Yeah, I heard that did really bad. I don't even know what that was about. I just
I
no, it
couldn't tell you.
seemed unique but not great.
I think the only reason people watched it was because of the director. So,
Who was?
Francis Ford Coppola, something like that. He made The
Oh,
Godfather, I think.
oh, okay.
Let me fact check actually. I think that's what he made a much very. Oh, he made The Godfather, Apocalypse Now. Yeah, The Godfather trilogy basically.
Okay, gotcha.
But well,
So,
we'll see what the future holds. But until then, I think we're gonna wrap it up. So yeah.
yes, we will.
So thank y'all for tuning in and listening to the Ribs podcast with
To the
me and
Rib
Isaiah.
Podcast.
Yeah, I'm Rancho and this is Isaiah. And
Didn't you just say that?
I did.
Okay, well, to those of y'all listening, goodbye.